Anthony Scaramucci, who I met actually recently, a couple weeks ago in LA. Very nice guy. Skybridge founder. Knows this too. And thinks that Bitcoin is still going to hit six figures by year end. Nothing has changed. Germany selling sucks, but nothing really has changed fundamentally for Bitcoin. And that's a good thing. Supply is still diminishing and demand is still going up. That's all you really need to know. Okay? So it sucks, yes, that we're going through this period, but it will pass. It will pass. And something else that he mentioned that not a whole lot of people are thinking about is FTX will soon be releasing $16 billion worth of cash to their creditors, to people that had crypto on FTX exchange, right? But they're releasing it back in USDT or cash, right? I don't know if it's actually stablecoin cash, but that's actually fantastic, right? You don't have to worry about people getting back their crypto and selling it. In fact, if you're giving that stablecoin, most likely they're going to buy the dip, and that's coming soon, right? That's something that he's mentioned. So this is fantastic, okay? And I agree. I don't think anything that's happening right now stops Bitcoin from breaking six figures by the end of this year, which is almost, if you think about it, it's double from our current point, right? Double in what? 5 months. So why would you be scared now? Scared money makes no money. Remember that. And there are so many charts that show that we are definitely coming back up, right? It's still looking good. Besides the massive inflows into the ETFs, if you're looking at charts, a lot of great things. Here's one that shows the Bitcoin breaking above the 200 EMA once again, right? That's a very bullish pattern. Also, if you're looking at where we are now, a lot of people think that, hey, this is just Wyckoff accumulation. And what is Wyckoff accumulation? It's when the big whales purposely drop prices so that retail investors will get scared out and the whales come in and load up. What does that sound like? Doesn't that sound like what I just described? Like we knew that Germany all of a sudden selling, is it a coincidence or not? We don't know. But it drove a lot of fear into the market. And guess who's picking up at bottom? BlackRock and Larry Fink, right? Even though you could say, well, it's not them, it's their fund, and Wall Street's loading up. But BlackRock has come out and said that they are filling their other funds with IBIT too. So that's essentially them buying their own product and them buying Bitcoin. And who knows what other wallets they hide that have Bitcoin too. So they're loading up. Wall Street's loading up, right? So that's exactly what Wyckoff is describing. When you have these big whales that want to drive people out so that they can accumulate more, sounds pretty plausible. It sounds like that's exactly what has happened and is happening right now. But the good thing is, if this is true, right, the whales want to make money. So after this accumulation, what happens afterwards? Usually the asset breaks above and continues forward, right? Just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin will get back to its previous high of 73,000. And when it does, it will break through. And that's when we will see the next leg up. 80, 90, 100,000 by the end of this year. And I do think that is going to come for sure, right? Especially, and then we have catalysts like a rate cut that may be coming to U.S. If that happens sooner or later, that will definitely make things faster. And then last thing I'll show you about Bitcoin, this is just looking at all previous cycles before, and the post-halving rally, which is in red, and you could see it happens every single time, but it's not smooth. It looks like it's smooth. It looks like it just goes up forever when you zoom out like that. But, you know, I've shown you guys these rallies zoomed in, and there's many, many dips, many 20, 25, 30, 35, 40% dips during those post-halving rallies. Okay, just like the one we're going through right now. Bull market is not canceled. No, it's not. we will continue forward. You just have to have some patience. That's really it. If you want to comment on anything I've said in this video, make sure you head over to the Roundtable. The Roundtable is a new social media platform created for conversations. And best of all, it's spam-free, bot-free, unlike here on YouTube. And you could have conversations with me and others like Altcoin Daily, Scott Melker, Mauro Nafal, and many others are joining daily. And you also get rewarded in tokens for doing so. So check out the new Roundtable. Click the link in the description below. Fear is high, right? I've covered the fear and greed index. Fear is obviously high, right? Sentiment is low because of it. But the good thing is, this is usually a point when Bitcoin recovers, when there is a recovery of price, right? So right now, we're at a 1-year low for sentiment, which again, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The fear and greed index showed that we are as fearful as January of 2023, when Bitcoin hit a low of $15,000. How can people be as fearful at 58,000 versus when Bitcoin was at 16,000? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And sentiment, going all the way back to 1-year low, we go look 1 year back, we're still at like $30,000, below $30,000, right? So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But the good thing is, usually when we have these very scary moments, that's when Bitcoin, excuse me, reverses back up. And that's when we get a good recovery. And it does look like we're at that moment right now. But the good thing is, Germany looks like they're almost done. Okay, so last night when I was streaming, we looked at Germany's wallet, and it was about 1.379, about 1.4 billion. Now it's down to 760 million. Okay, so obviously they sold another 600 million. If you look through their transactions, we got a lot. We have like here's one, 375 to Coinbase. You got 375 to Kraken. Something that's called Flow Riders, which I think is some kind of brokerage. I looked at it the other day. I think they help business with digital assets. So I think they probably do sell OTC or something like that. But they sent a massive 3K to them. And then there's this other wallet that no one can identify, 250. So they've been selling a lot. Okay, so they're like, we don't care about those Bitcoiners. We don't care if they continue to bitch about prices going down or being suppressed. We're just going dump. At this point, it's good, all right? Let them dump it all. We're getting closer, because I was afraid when we were still at like close to $3 billion, this was going to be a drawn out ordeal. But now it's like, okay, they're like just like dumping it by $1 billion a day now, right? So this is good. This is almost over, okay? And of course, because of the ETF inflows, we're not seeing too much disruption. I mean, periodically we still see these small dips with Bitcoin, but overall we're holding very well and trending upward. So even with the massive selling that they are doing on top of Coinbase and Kraken and Bitstamp, they're selling not OTC, they're selling on the spot market. It's actually quite amazing to think about that someone could dump $2 billion worth of Bitcoin on a spot market, and you know what? Now the market is eating up like it's nothing. That shows you how strong the market is.